split verdict in the two-judge bench. Justice Hemant Gupta has proposed to uphold the ban on the headscarf in the classrooms in the educational institutions, while Justice Sudhanshu Dhulia has set aside the Karnataka High Court order banning the headscarf and has quashed the government order, which is the CDC order that the government guideline had come. It's a split verdict, which means it's going to be referred to a larger bench. Nabila, this is big news. Split verdict, a larger bench now, but 11 questions on freedom, on right to education, all of that will also be discussed in part of this. Our guests continue to be with us.
You know, undoubtedly, Pooja, this is a complex issue that has to be possibly, as the two judges have itself decided now, that this has to be placed before a higher bench. But I'd like to quickly go back to Anisha on that again. Anisha, a quick word on Justice Gupta. As he upholds the Karnataka High Court's verdict, is there a justification that he's given on why the Karnataka High Court's verdict on not allowing religious symbols like the hijab inside classrooms is valid?
Well, Pooja, Justice Gupta has not read out his entire opinion. What he has, however, read out is that he proposes to uphold the High Court verdict. However, he has said that since there is a dissenting opinion, this matter has to go before a larger bench. And therefore, he has suggested framing of around 11 questions of law, which will include the issue of whether this matter needs to go before the 9-judge Sabrimala bench, whether the essential religious practices issue is something that has to be considered, how it has to be defined, the ambit and scope of the right of freedom of religion, whether a hijab is an essential religious practice or not, whether wearing of a hijab is a right of a student inside a classroom, whether the government order was legitimate or not. So all of these questions have been framed by Justice Gupta. But to answer your question of why he has upheld the Karnataka High Court verdict, that point he has not spoken about while reading out the order. We'll have to read the entire judgment to see that. Now, at the
Anisha,
same time, Justice Dhulia
confirm to us, can we say right now, can we break it here on India Today, that a larger bench is now all set to hear? So that's we can say that now with a split verdict, it is going to be a larger bench. Any clarity on whether it's going to be a 3-judge, 5-judge, 9? I remember you read 9, but yes.
Well, definitely, Pooja, this is going to go before a larger bench. Now, what the judges have said is that the Chief Justice was now going to take a call on whether this matter has to go for a 3-judge bench or be directly referred to the larger bench. Now, in this situation, and I'm reiterating this again, we'll have to see the detailed judgment that the two judges have pronounced. In the open court, what they have said is that that there is a split verdict. This will have to go to a larger bench. Normally, what happens is that from a 2-judge bench, it goes to a 3-judge bench, and that bench will then consider, because that is also one of the questions that Justice Gupta has suggested, that should this matter go to the 9-judge Sabrimala bench or not, and whether all of these issues have to be considered. What is also very important, Pooja, is Justice Dhulia's opinion that has come out, and what he's read out in the open court is that the question of essential religious practice should never have been gone into, and because this is a question of choice, it is a question of rights, it is a question of making sure that women, particularly women in rural areas, particularly women from poor families, are not denied access to education and they are not denied their rights. So that is a very strong statement coming in from Justice Dhulia. We're also we're also hoping to get a comment from one of the lawyers who was involved in the matter. We're just waiting for one of them to come out of the Supreme Court.
Before we go across to our guests who've been waiting for now, Justice Gupta gives 11 questions but decides to uphold the order of the Karnataka High Court. What is his reasoning of having done that?
Well, Pooja, what I'm saying is that Justice Gupta has very clearly said that there is a divergent opinion between him and Justice Dhulia. At this moment, we do not know why he has said that the Karnataka High Court verdicts needs to be upheld. But what we do know is that he has raised several questions of law. And right now, Pooja, I'm just heading towards the other side of the Supreme Court lawns, where some of the lawyers involved in the case have come out and are giving a statement about what exactly has the court said in this particular matter. What we will find out very shortly what exactly the court said.
Honorable Justice Hemant Gupta has quashed the GOs of the Karnataka government and he has dismissed the appeals, wherein Justice Dhulia, he has deferred and he has allowed the appeals, he has allowed all the appeals. And the 3 points where he has allowed the appeals are, he has emphasized on the Bijoy manual judgment of the Supreme Court, and further he has left this issue to the lady. He has left it on his choice. Lady's choice, Justice Dhulia has emphasized that the choice has been left to the lady. Whatever she wants to wear, she can wear. And the third thing which he has emphasized in this judgment is that he has emphasized on the education of the girl child. He has said how the girls in the villages and how the girls in the remote areas they work, they have to assist their families. Then they have ultimately they go to the school. So it's very important for the girl child to have her education. So he has emphasized on the education of the girl. He has emphasized on her choice, and he has depended on the Bijoy manual judgment, which has upheld this practice where a lady can put whatever covering. I appeared. One of the petitioner was Charanjit Kaur, in which she was a Sikh lady. She was saying that when I have this choice, then other girls and other ladies and other ladies from the various communities, they should have all this choice also to cover their heads while they are going to schools or wherever or which place they are going to. So, my name is Aftab Ali Khan.
Thank you very much, sir. So we just heard right now from one of the lawyers who had appeared for one of the petitioners in this case, Pooja, where he said that the court has very clearly emphasized the Bijoy Manual case. Now, the Bijoy Manual case is a precedent judgment in Indian law which basically upholds the right of a religious minority to consider their religious choices. They've also said that it is the question of education of women. So very clearly, we are getting this opinion from Justice Dhulia, at least, so that this was a question of choice, this was a question of Article 19 and 25 rights, and that the essential religious practice issue should not have gone into at all. But of course, on the other hand, Justice Gupta very clearly saying that the Karnataka High Court
can we
was
safely say that there is no end to the stalemate, that this hijab ban, the controversy around this, whether hijab is allowed inside educational institutions or not, is not ended as yet. The Supreme Court will take this up with a higher bench, and this argument will go on for a little longer. How soon or how long will this take in your view?
Well, most definitely, Nabila, what this is going to happen now is that there will be a longer, much longer hearing. So we're also speaking to one of the others. So what exactly does today's matter mean? Now it will go to a larger bench. It will take much more time.
No. So today there is a split view expressed by the two honorable judges. Justice Hemant Gupta has said he has dismissed the appeals preferred by all the parties, and he has upheld the order passed by the state of Karnataka. Justice Dhulia has differed with his view, and he has expressed that he has a differing view because a girl child faces a lot of problems while they are being sent to the schools and colleges, and their right to education is more important than wearing or not wearing a hijab.
So, but this also means that now it will go to a larger bench. Will it go to a 3-judge bench, or is it going to be...
No, now the operative part of the order says that it has to be placed before the Honorable Chief Justice of India, and he is going to form a new bench. Either it will be a larger bench or it could be even 3 judges bench.